What looks like a really long torsoed sweater is actually a pattern that I've named the sleep sack, a baby sweater that comes in a few different sizes. And in this tutorial, we're going to cover the different techniques I've used here, which you'll see in a lot of different patterns, which are top-down raglan increases, separating for the sleeves, I-cord edging, and attaching the collar. So these techniques are good for a lot of different patterns, but if you'd like to follow along with the sleep sack that I have here, this pattern's available over on VeryPink.com. So we're going to get started with this sweater's cast-on row. Oh, here, let me show you this first. Here is the sweater in a solid color, little star buttons. Okay, now we'll get this out of the way. The cast-on row is, actually it's under the collar here. It's this here, and we increase at 4 points, here and here, and here and here, and we keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger on the sleeves, the front, and the back. And once we get big enough for the sleeves here like this, we separate the sleeves and just finish the body. But right now, we're going to go back and get started with getting started. Get started with getting started, yeah. Okay, so I've already cast on, following the pattern, I've cast on for the smallest size, I've placed markers, and right now I'm going to show you how to do this I-cord edging on the back. Now it doesn't really look much like I-cord, it just makes a smooth edge that doesn't curl, because we have to have this big enough to open over a baby's head and then seal it up. Okay, so this is the I-cord opening. I'm going to show you how to work right off the bat here. So I am on the second row of the pattern, which is a knit row, and the pattern tells me to slip 3 with yarn in back. I'm going to slip 3 stitches as if to purl, and then I'm going to knit up to the next marker. So when I do that, I've slipped those 3 stitches, and that is what's making the I-cord edging that won't curl. Okay, and then I'm going to knit up to the first marker where I will start my raglan increase. Raglan increases. Okay, when I get to the stitch before the marker, I'm going to KFB in this stitch, which is knit front back. I'll show you again. You work a knit stitch like normal, but leave this stitch on the needle, on the left needle. Swing the tip of your right needle around to the back of that stitch and work another knit stitch, then pull the old stitch off the left needle. You slip the marker and work a KFB on the next stitch as well. Whoops, my markers, these are not the markers I normally use. I have so many pieces done for this sweater that I've used up all my markers. Okay, then we knit up to the next marker. And it's the same thing again. KFB, whoops, slip marker, KFB. And that's what you're going to do at each marker all the way across on every right side row. Then when you go to work the next wrong side row, the purl row, the pattern tells you to slip 3 with yarn in front. So these first 3 stitches you'll slip and then purl across all the rest of the stitches. And that's what's going to give us these increases like this, as well as the I-cord opening, whoops, the I-cord opening in back. Okay, next up we're going to start working in the round. We're working back and forth right now. We're going to start working in the round once we're done with the little opening in the back of the sweater.